Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Game News Roundup, where we discuss the latest gaming news over the last week or so. It's been about a week since I've done one of these, so be about the latest bigger gaming news over the last week. Some PS5 stuff, Xbox, Nintendo, I guess really everything. Tokyo Game Show happened over the weekend. There is no VG charts estimates today. I'm waiting on some data to come through. One thing does come through tomorrow morning for sure. And if the other bit I'm waiting on also comes through tomorrow, it'll be up tomorrow, Tuesday, September 20th, or if you're watching this on YouTube today, potentially. Otherwise, it might be delayed towards later in the week. I just like to wait for some data to come through, and then I'll get stuff posted. Just, it happens once in a while. I'd rather wait for the data I'd like to have come in first before I run the numbers, so they're more accurate. So it requires less adjustments in the future. But going into the latest gaming news over the last week. So from today, there's a rumor. Calling it a rumor. I know it was considered a report from sources familiar with Sony's plans. But there's a rumor that Sony's going to release a new PS5 model next year that comes with a detachable disk drive. Said to launch sometime around September 2023. So what I wrote earlier today, there was a report that the PS5 will be getting an overhaul with a new model set to launch around September 2023. According to sources familiar with Sony's plans who share details with Insider Gaming, the new PS5 will replace the current iteration. This will be a replacement of the current PS5 models. I don't know if this is going to be equivalent to a slim PS5, but it would line up with the PS4 Slim coming out 3 years after the PS4. So it could be a slim PS5, and then with the detachable disk drive, will be the biggest difference between now and the current models, and then what will be the new one with the detachable disk drive. It will be connected to the PlayStation using an extra USB-C port on the back of the console. The sources claim Sony will sell a new PS5 similar to how it does now. One model will come with a detachable disk drive, and one will come without the disk drive. But you will, if you buy the digital version, without the disk drive, you'll be able to buy the disk drive later. Purchase it. Now, this is treating this as a rumor. Don't know if this is gonna be real or not. Could be fake. I don't know. That's why I label it as a rumor. But it seems like bigger news if it comes out to be real. And the detachable disk drive, according to the sources, is said not to ruin the look of the PS5, as it will attach to it without looking like an external drive that's just plugged in. You're just gonna sit it on top of the console or next to the console or whatever you want to do with it. So it's gonna look like it belongs. So maybe there'll be like you bought the digital version, and there's whatever plastic that covers where the disk drive would plug into, then you take that off, and maybe you take the disk drive and you plug it into there, and then it lines up perfectly so it looks like it matches or something. Maybe. It's just my guess, but again, this is just a rumor from today. And the other big thing, which I'm sure if you're watching this, I'm sure you're aware of it, besides the obvious, likely will be the title of the video or one of the bit of news in the title. There was a massive Grand Theft Auto 6 leak that has appeared online. And by leak, well, a hacker stole data from Rockstar's, gained access to their servers and whatnot. Leaked over 90 videos from a development build, which it is apparently 1 or 2 years old. So it's from, or maybe even older than that. It's from apparently a couple years ago. People are like, why does it look so bad? Well, the game is at least 2 years away. What was leaked was from 2 years ago, which means 4 years difference between when the videos were taken and then when the game's going to release. Yeah, of course the game is not going to look great. Imagine we're looking at, say, Avengers Endgame 2 years before it released with, CG that was in progress. Of course it's going to look like crap. Any unfinished game. Of course, how many games released would seem like they're still unfinished anyway. But, But yeah, everything seemed legit. And also, there was already reports of some information about the game previously, and the leaked footage does match up with it for the fact that there's a female protagonist for the first time in the franchise history, a Latina woman. And is one of 2 leading characters, so it's influenced by the bank robbers of Bonnie and Clyde, of the 2 main characters you play as. But more than that, I don't really want to say too much. I mean, it takes place, it looks to be like a Vice City, like GTA Vice City, the Miami area, or similar looking area to Miami. But I'm not going to show any videos of it. You can probably find it online. Take-Two has been really hitting YouTubers. I know he's posted any footage with DMCA. So other than me, man, saying that, yes, it did happen. But also, it sucks to have in-development stuff leaked before it's done. That sucks to everyone who's working on it. And Rockstar did acknowledge today, the leak was from yesterday, that yes, the leak is real. But they did say it's not going to delay the game. So, Rockstar's quote, "We recently suffered a network intrusion with an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early dev footage for the next GTA. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way versus like having a big trailer reveal. You know, our work on the next GTA game will continue as planned and remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course we will properly introduce you to this next game when it is ready to be shown. We want to thank everyone for your ongoing support through this situation." So yeah, big leak. Luckily, according to Rockstar, there's no delays to development of GTA 6 or whatever it ends up being called, but GTA 6 most likely is what it'll be called. So yeah, Rockstar acknowledges that, yes, the leak happened, but no delays. It sucks. Again, footage is online. They're trying to shut it down as much as they can, but I'm sure if you can find it. But again, it is early dev. It is pre-alpha footage. Everything's still very much a work in progress. Why the visuals don't hold up, or the lighting isn't there, and the physics are a bit, it's like it's still work in progress, you know? Most games, how many games get released and then you still get updates after a game comes out nowadays with bug fixes and maybe even some new stuff added in, and maybe didn't quite make it to on release day. So Sony, I confirmed, or say announced, the PlayStation VR2, their upcoming virtual reality headset, will not be backwards compatible with PlayStation VR games. So what they said, PlayStation VR games are not compatible with PSVR2 because PSVR2 is designed to be a truly next-gen VR experience. PSVR2 has much more advanced features like an all-new controller with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, as I've said in Inside Out tracking. And so yeah, tracking is going to be different. The controllers are very different. I mean, they could have left it up to developers, saying as developers want to make their games work, they will require tweaks to the controls and how things run. Includes 3D audio with the headset, 4K HDR on the headset. So this means that making games for PSVR 2 requires a whole different approach than the original PSVR. It sucks, but in some ways I definitely understand it. It'd be kind of cool if they said, yes, we're not really going to quite officially support it, but if developers of PSVR 1 games want to port their games over and make it run, they're more than welcome to, but this is what they said. But also PSVR 2, if anyone's wondering, is set to launch in early 2023 with over 20 first-party and third-party titles have been confirmed. One confirmed first-party title is Horizon Call of the Mountain from Guerrilla Games and Firespray. So I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. This is going to be set in the same universe as that. Let's see. Sony on Activision Blizzard, Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition. So far, the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard has been approved in Saudi Arabia. We do know the UK, and it looks like the European Union is going to do a more in-depth look into the acquisition. But I mean, it is a nearly $70 billion acquisition. This really, it doesn't surprise me, and a lot of people is like, well, that's not really a surprise. It's such a big acquisition that this stuff is going to take a lot longer than smaller acquisitions that are in the millions of dollars versus the tens of billions, you know. But Sony representative sent a message to games industry saying that it is a welcome announcement of the CMA doing a more in-depth investigation. CMA being the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK. So, Sony, a representative said, by giving Microsoft control of Activision games like Call of Duty, this deal would have major negative implications for gamers in the future of the gaming industry. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality gaming experience, and we appreciate the CMA's focus on protecting gamers. Now, a Microsoft spokesperson responded to this and said that it makes zero business sense for Microsoft to remove Call of Duty from PlayStation, given its market-leading console position. Basically saying, yes, it doesn't really make sense because, well, PlayStation is bigger than Xbox at the moment. But the thing is, Sony's worried that Microsoft will pull Call of Duty away from PlayStation and keep it Xbox and PC exclusive. But then again, Microsoft bought Minecraft, and that is still multi-platform. Heck, Minecraft Dungeons and the upcoming Minecraft, is it Legends? Are multi-platform. But also, Sony has money-hatted Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy XVI, Forspoken, and several other games to have basically just been PlayStation console exclusives just to keep them off Xbox. Third-party games. So, Sony's already done it. Microsoft is buying the full studios. And then once, Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, it'll be up to them whether they decide to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation or not. Although, I fully expect Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation through this generation, next generation. I don't know for sure, but yes, there is a deal in place between Sony and Activision to have exclusive marketing rights and actually have some exclusive content on the latest Call of Duties, and to get some content like a month early. And I believe rumors are that deal ends in 2023 or 2024. I forget the exact year, but then Microsoft said, yeah, once that deal ends, they want to continue parity between PlayStation and Xbox versions for another few years, which would line up roughly with the end of the current generation, the PS5 and Series X and S generation. However, obviously, once the deal with PlayStation ends, Call of Duty will all be entering Game Pass day one. At least I would assume so. Microsoft seems to be more focused on growing Game Pass than anything else right now. So it's just... And then after that, then they said parity for a few years, so then maybe after the parity is done, we'll see some content come to Xbox version before PlayStation version, by a month maybe, or some content will be exclusive to Xbox and not PlayStation of Call of Duty. This is all speculation. We'll find out in the coming years. It's just like there's something new every week coming out with the Activision Blizzard acquisition, which is not only one of the biggest gaming it is the biggest gaming acquisition ever by several times over, but one of the biggest acquisitions, period. Just period. So, that is that. With more stuff on the Activision Blizzard front. Moving on to some stuff from Tokyo Game Show, some quotes and interviews from guys at Xbox. So, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, speaking during the Xbox Tokyo Game Show showcase, announced that Xbox has been growing throughout Asia due to the success of the Xbox Series S. And half of all Xbox sales in Asia, are to first-time Xbox owners, people who have never owned an Xbox before. Phil Spencer, direct quote, "This generation, we're welcoming more new console players to Xbox than ever before in Asia, largely because of Series S, where more than half of sales have gone to first-time Xbox owners. Players can enjoy great quality games across all genres, including games on console, PC, or cloud, and new titles from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda the same day they launch on Game Pass. But it's not just about that here. And now we are building the gaming and content platform for the next 20 years, probably referring to Game Pass. We want to continue making Xbox the best value in gaming. We're working hard to make sure our games are available. However, you want to play. Choices core to our visions." Yeah, they make, as I've said before, Xbox games, day one on Xbox, PC, cloud, at least first-party games, and obviously on Game Pass. First-party games. So Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda. And all their studios under Bethesda. Phil Spencer's also said, he's reiterated, I should say, no plans to raise Xbox prices. Customers are more economically challenged. This is Basically because Sony increased the price of the PlayStation basically everywhere outside the US beginning of this month, end of last month. And Microsoft and Nintendo quickly after that said they're not raising the price of the Switch or Xbox Series X and S. But Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, in a new interview with CNBC, we're always evaluating our business going forward, so I don't think we can ever say on anything that we will never do something. But when we look at our consoles today, and you talked about it, Series X and Series S, we think value is incredibly important. We love the position of Series S in the market, which is our lower cost console. Over half of our new players that we're finding are coming in through Series S, and I can definitely say we have no plans today to raise the price of our consoles. We think in a time when our customers are more economically challenged and uncertain than ever, we don't think it's the right move for us at this point in raising the prices of their console. Also, people having less money, you raise the price of a console, less people will be willing to buy it as it is, as they're already economically challenged. So, that is a quote from Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer. And we have a quote from Microsoft's Corporate Vice President of Gaming Ecosystem at Xbox, Sarah Bond, who seems to could be next in line to be the head of Xbox if Phil Spencer were to ever retire. Mind you, Phil Spencer has been at Xbox, or at Microsoft, I should say, for over 30 years at this point. So who knows when he's thinking on retiring or doing something else. But anyway, Sarah Bond. One of the things that I'm super excited about is that we have over 250 developers in Japan developing games for Xbox right now. 150 of these games have already shipped. 100 of them are in Game Pass. And we recently got to announce 15 titles made in Asia and 13 in Japan. So much has come, but there's even more that's going to come in the future, and I can't wait to reveal it to you all as it starts coming out. So yeah, my Xbox and Microsoft have been working on growing their presence in Japan and getting more games developed by developers, studios in Japan on Asia to come out on Xbox, whether exclusive or still multi-platform, just actually having them come into the Xbox platform. Also, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, again, in a different interview. But yeah, they are working to meet the demand for original Japanese titles on Xbox. It's not too much to hope for, said Spencer. We've just met with Kojima-san from Kojima Productions and many other game creators to talk about bringing unique titles to the Xbox. We understand that many game fans want that. We're also aware of the common desire for games from Japan. We're working on creating such titles, so please look forward to it. The Xbox, the Xbox 360 did have 2 exclusive JRPGs from the Final Fantasy creator. Blue Dragon from 2006 and Lost Odyssey in 2007, which were a big reason why the 360 is the best-selling Xbox in Japan by threefold. It's like 1.5 million, 1.6 million 360 sold. And so the original Xbox was just under 500,000. The Xbox One was like 115,000, really quite poor. And then the Series X and S it's over 300,000 now, I believe, in Japan. So, but yeah, also, Xbox and Hideo Kojima working together on a new game for Xbox. And I'm sure PC as well, and I'm sure it'll be on Game Pass day one of that. We haven't heard anything about the game. I'm sure it's at least 2 or 3 years away. So yeah, Xbox is working on growing the amount of Japanese games you see on Xbox. Let's see. There has been an update on the Xbox app on PC. So yeah, this app down here. Xbox has rolled out the September update for Xbox app on PC. The biggest change, it added the stuff from the website, How Long to Beat. If you want to know how long it is to beat a game, you go to How Long to Beat. And that has been integrated into the Xbox app, which will show estimates on how long it takes to beat the main story, main and extras, and whatnot. So, and a completionist, so basically 100%. Like, hey, Emerald. Oh, that's where you've been, Emerald. You've had no power. Yeesh. Hope you're doing well, Emerald. We've gone through the big news already, but, but yeah. So yeah, Xbox app has been, let's just say the Xbox app was pretty poor. It was pretty piss poor, to say the least, like a year ago. But they've been every couple months, they've been adding new features, making it more stable so it doesn't crash as often. Let's just say they've improved the app so much that, in testing, the app is now crash-free 99.9% of the time. Yeah, I remember how poor it was. But they've been making it more stable, run better, some new features, which is always welcome. It has still a long way to go to catch up to Steam, the amount of features and stuff we have in Steam. But you know what? Constant and little improvements every month, it's a good thing. Again, it has a long way to go. And it has been confirmed, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection is coming to PC October 19th, so in a month. Which includes Uncharted 4 and Uncharted The Lost Legacy expansion. And it first released on the PlayStation 5 earlier this year on January 28th. The PC version includes PC-centric quality of life enhancements, includes a reimagined user interface, scale sliders, GPU and VRAM detection, variable load speed, and more. So we've got the specs here: minimum, recommended performance, and ultra. Here's the funny thing. CPU here. My CPU is well above this ultra here. I have the AMD Ryzen 5900X, which is the 3950X. So yeah, my CPU is better than the ultra one. But my GPU, I have the AMD R9 390. So one step above minimum. One step above minimum. That'll be interesting. Though I do have 32 gigs of RAM, which is double the ultra. Go figure. 126 gigs. Holy shit. Yeah, SSD. SSD is recommended. Yeah, it makes sense. That'd be recommended. I have a 1 terabyte SSD and it's filling up. So I think as I complete games, I'm going to have to start removing them. Which, speaking of which, I did install Spider-Man Remastered to play. We'll be starting that hopefully soonish on my streams. So if anyone's interested in that. I've also been still going through. Just need that GPU upgrade. Yeah, I do. I figured I'm waiting for sales for the holidays and whatnot. Deathloop, which Sony had originally money-hatted. It's from Bethesda before Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft. Deathloop was a PlayStation 5 console exclusive for exactly 1 year. And exactly 1 year after it came out on PS5, they're like, hey, yeah, Deathloop. It's coming to Xbox. And Game Pass. Oh, and PC. So yeah, September 20th, Deathloop. Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Game Pass. But yeah, it first came out on PS5 and PC on Steam and Epic Games Store in September 2021. So actually, PC on the Microsoft Store, more specifically. And also, the Golden Loop update will be coming out on the same day, so September 20th. It adds crossplay, new abilities, new weapon, and more to the game. And last thing actually I've opened up, Resident Evil 4 Remake is coming to PS4. It originally was only announced for the PS5, Series X, and S, and PC, so basically current gen and PC, ignoring last gen, but it's now been confirmed PS4. No word on Xbox One, which we'll see. But more details on the Resident Evil 4 Remake will be, and I guess Resident Evil in general, in a live stream in October. And Resident Evil 4 Remake is coming out March 24th, 2023. Oh, yeah, it also have PlayStation VR2 support. So that is what I have open up news-wise. So, yeah, we talked about the rumored of a new PS5 model with a detachable disk drive coming out next September. Potentially going to be a slim PS5. I don't know. Yeah, the GTA6 leak. Not that I showed anything, because that's a terrible idea. Oh, yeah, also, yeah, Splatoon. A lot of stuff coming from Splatoon week with Splatoon's launch week. It sold like mad in Japan. Broke records in Japan. Biggest opening ever in Japan. Absolutely nuts. Decent launch in Europe, but nothing like groundbreaking. Let's see. Hollow Knight Silksong confirmed for PS5 and PS4. I'm pretty sure it was only confirmed for Xbox and PC before. I'll take a quick look at this. Whenever you decide to load. Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry. And Switch. It was announced for everything but PlayStation. Oh, and Game Pass too. But it's now been confirmed coming to PS5 and PS4 as well. So it's coming to everything. Every major platform. Hollow Knight Silksong will be available for when it launches. Rise of the Triad, Ludicrous Edition. Rise of the Triad. I think that was a shooter from the mid-90s. Yeah. So a remaster, I guess, coming out. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. current gen versions for PS5 and Series X and S coming out next year with improvements, visual improvements. Honestly, higher resolution, higher frame rates. Suikoden. I do apologize. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that terribly. 1 and 2 HD remaster, Gate Ruin, and Dune and Unification Wars were announced by Konami. Again, this is TGS stuff since TGS, Tokyo Game Show, did take place over the weekend. It was announced for Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Again, coming out next year. Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack. 3 Sega Genesis games are coming out for it. Have been added to it, I guess, as now. Elysia, Dragoon, Beyond Oasis, and Earthworm Jim. So the Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pack. This is the more expensive version of the Switch Online, which I think is $50 a year versus $20 a year for the standard Switch Online. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is available now on Game Pass. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, next update comes out September 29th. One Piece Odyssey launches January 13th, 2023 for PS5, Series X and S, PS4, and Xbox One. I believe, it did skip the Xbox One, but it's coming out Series X and S. Star Ocean, the Divine Force demo, comes out later this month. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered is now available on Xbox and Game Pass. And Ni no Kuni 2 will be coming out in 2023 for Xbox and Game Pass. I believe they're already available on PlayStation. Both games are currently available on Switch, PS4, and PC. Ni no Kuni 1 and 2 come on Xbox and Game Pass. Well, Ni no Kuni 1, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered, available now for Xbox and Game Pass. Well, the sequel, 2, coming out next year. Let's see. Danganronpa V2 Killing Harmony Anniversary Edition. Out now. It is out now. For Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. BlazBlue. Cross Tag Battle. I'm realizing I've never pronounced these out loud, so I'm actually not sure how to pronounce them. It's headed to Series X and S, Xbox One, and Game Pass in spring 2023. Guilty Gear Strive also headed to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Game Pass in spring 2023. A horror adventure game, Saturnalia, arrives October 27th for all major platforms, being PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Switch. PC. Lego Bricktales launches October 12th. Pale World comes out in 2023 for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, announced for Xbox One, PC, and Game Pass. Songs of Iron 2, announced for Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC. Why there's so much on these on the Xbox is because Microsoft held an Xbox showcase at Tokyo Game Shows, while Sony and Nintendo did not. Let's see. Sims 4 going free to play on October 18th. I don't know. It definitely includes the base game, but I think it might just be the base game is be free to play, and you still have to pay for all the DLC that's available for it. I think that's about it. Like a Dragon 8 was announced for everything but Switch. Like a Dragon Gaiden side game announced for everything but the Switch. Like a Dragon Nation comes out February 21st, 2023. Judgment and Lost Judgment are out now on the PC. And I think that's about... Oh, GoldenEye 007 coming to Switch, Xbox, and I think Game Pass as well. However, online multiplayer is only available on the Switch, and the Xbox version won't have online multiplayer, which seems odd. But GoldenEye, the classic N64 game, finally is getting a re-release. Why is it taking so long? It's because Microsoft owns the rights to it, Nintendo owns the rights to it, and whoever owns the rights to James Bond also owns the rights to it. So they all have to agree on what to do, which is why it's coming to Switch and Xbox. I think that's going to be about it for the gaming news. So as always, if you enjoyed today's Game News Roundup, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and whatnot. So thank you all so much for watching another round of the Game News Roundup.